If you want to ask a question live and have a conversation, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and I'll call on you. But it seems like people have been liking most to just ask questions, even anonymously. So whatever works for you, I'm here to serve you. So I just want to find my question box because I always lose it. Okay, there we go. Remove this. Sorry, we were getting so good at this, and then we've tried to book the internet to get rehooked up back here for a month now, and they keep not showing up. So we're using a hotspot. So bear with us. Okay, yay! I'm super excited. We had a great manifestation. What is it called? Masterclass a couple weeks ago that I was just obsessed with. Like it was the most like me brand information that I've had that just like lit me up and got me excited. It made me really realize where I can shift the most stuff for people because I have so much knowledge and I've taken so many courses and I teach so many things and I do so many things. It's really hard for me to know like what my specific thing is that will help the most people. And then all that other information helps me with individual stuff. But it really, yeah. So we're going to go more into manifesting because I think oh no, what did I hit? Oh, got it. I think manifestation is like the thing that is the most important for people to understand. And I think people think they know what it is, but they don't truly understand how to do it, which is why I've been teaching this for like 10 years. But even my teachings and what I've learned in it have evolved over time. So I think everyone in here knows me at this point on some level. So I don't think I need to like introduce myself or why I am qualified to do what I do, but just like quick snapshot if you don't. I was a teen mom twice. I opened my first brick and mortar business when I was 25 years old with like no money, no credit, bad credit actually. Like my sister did it with me at first. She was 23, I was 25. She had no credit. We had no money. Like it was crazy. I don't even know how it happened, but it was a manifestation. We had put it out there. We knew it was going to happen and we made it happen. And that started my journey in some sense to like realize what I'm capable of and what we're all capable of. And then I got to spend 20 years teaching my hair clients everything that I knew about manifestation, hearing their stories come back. It was like I was their hairstylist, but like I was also their life coach and manifestation coach. And it was just super fun for me. And I eventually realized like hair's great, but it was taking away my true purpose because I could only do one person at a time. Where when I left hair and could go to coaching, I could help a whole bunch of people level up and change their lives. And every time someone changes their life and gets to a new level, it just like lights me up and lets me know that like I'm doing what I'm here to do. So I want to help everyone in this space like level up, get to a place where they're doing what it is they love and where abundance is just flowing into your life. Like money doesn't have to be an issue for us. And it seems to be that money and love are the two things that people have the biggest blocks around and the biggest issues with. And it's all based on this information. So let's jump into it. So, okay, so how many of you have ever said, I'm manifesting that, and then immediately started going, but what about this? Well, okay, but what about this? What if this happens? I guess I could have it if this happens, and started putting yeah, yes in the comments and started putting like caveats or prerequisites on the ability to create the thing. Probably all of us, because otherwise you probably don't need me because you're just manifesting stuff out of thin air all the time. Okay, so let's see, where do I want to start with this? So when you say it will happen when I'm manifesting XYZ and it will happen when you have just put a huge block in the way of your manifestation. Because the thing that blocks manifestation is worrying about the how. It's the biggest block that we have. And because of how we're programmed and because of being human and the experience that we're here to have, we all have this to work through it. Because if we don't understand it's a block, we think we're just being logical or we think we're just being smart. When in reality, we've been programmed to believe that these things can't happen without these things. But the truth is, anything is possible at any moment. Your life could change in 3 seconds. It's the difference of understanding how to get what you want without blocking it. So it's like we say, I want this, then we block it, and then we go, where is it? But if we say, I want this, remove the block, it shows up and the universe shows up for you. So real manifestation is not a technique, it's an identity shift. And we talk about identity all the time. I didn't talk about it when I first started teaching manifesting. It was a piece I didn't quite understand yet. But over the last 4 years, I would say I truly get the identity piece. And this is where I can see why some manifestations happen for people and why some don't, is exactly this one little thing. And it's the identity. And identity it's a huge subject, right? Because when I'm saying you need to be a different person, you need to be a different version of who you are in order to hold that. There's no way around it. There's no shortcut. The only way to happiness is to be happy. You can't say, I'll be happy when. It's like you be happy and then you create happiness. There's no shortcut to wealth. It's like you be wealthy and wealth shows up. Not you get the money and then you get wealthy. Okay, so it's an identity shift. So most women are manifesting accidentally and they're keeping themselves stuck because of this. So you are always manifesting. Every single one of us is always manifesting the life that we have, everything that we're creating. If you want to turn that fan on, Danielle, you can too. It's plugged in. Okay. Sorry, it's hot in our office, so we're trying to share this AC from different rooms. Anyways, so you are always manifesting. Everything that's happening in your life, in your reality, is manifested inside of you first, and then it shows up. So whatever you're living, I'm going to be bold and say you created it, but it's true. Now, I'm not going to say you made someone die. I'm not going to say that there aren't things that are written in fate before it happens or in charts before we come to this life. I will say we signed up for the heartache and we signed up for the lessons, but you didn't accidentally manifest bad and kill someone. That's not a thing that happens. But I would say for your financial reality, the life that you live day to day, that is all manifested straight out of where you have it inside of you. So whatever you're feeling inside of you, whatever you believe inside of you. And I'm just going to add, remember we've talked about this before, but your subconscious's only job is to make you right. So if you think you're broke, your subconscious has to make sure you're broke. So if you think that you're abundant and wealthy and that you're living this crazy dream life, your subconscious has to find a way to get there. But the only thing that blocks it is you worrying about the how. Okay, because that is a literal, it's like a closed door. I want this, universe starts planting the seed, and you go, how? And it closes the door. That was dramatic. But it's that dramatic. Okay. So if you're not manifesting on purpose, you're just randomly attracting the life that you're living. So if you feel like life is just happening to you and you have no control of it, it's because you're not manifesting on purpose and you're just randomly allowing things to come to you. Let's see. So the difference is identity, not vision boards and not affirmations. Now, I talk about vision boards. I talk about affirmations. I think these are great tools, but they're tools to help create the identity. So I don't get to stay how I am right now and then make a vision board of all these big things and not shift my identity to be someone who has these big things. I don't get to just start saying affirmations and believe okay, it's going to happen because I said it. I told the universe I said it. Where is it? If I'm not shifting my identity, the whole point of the affirmations and the vision board is to help you visualize and actually shift your identity. So that's the piece that gets missed. And that's why we get stuck. Okay. I have a lot of notes, so bear with me. Let's see. Outer reality always mirrors our inner identity. So I wonder if I can use let me try something. I want to use the whiteboard, but I don't know if I know how. I think I'm so savvy and I'm not. Oh, I might have found it. Did I get it? New existing whiteboards? Tell me if this shows up. Oh, report a problem. Okay. Let me just try one more thing. New whiteboard, connection error. Okay. It might be with our hotspot. We can't do it. Oh, is it working for you?
It started screen share, but it's buffering, so I don't know.
Oh, it is. Okay, let's see. I would love to write this out, but if I can't, I can't, and that's okay. Great, but now I'm stuck on a screen. I thought I was so good at this. Let's see. Danielle's gonna come help me because she's magic. Connection error, but it won't even let me close out of it. Oh, should I just hit report a problem? No. Oh, great. Sorry, guys. While she's figuring that out, I'll keep talking. Oh, how do I know if I'm actually manifesting or just hoping I feel like I'm visualizing, but not? Oh, let me say that correctly. How do I know if I'm actually manifesting or just hoping? I feel like I'm visualizing, but nothing is changing externally. Thanks, Danielle. Okay, I won't do the whiteboard. I'll just explain it out loud, and then if anyone needs it, I can like send like a chart in the comments later or something, or in our group. Okay, so how do you know if you're just manifesting or just hoping? Has your identity shifted? And what I mean by that is when you're making a decision, is it from a new identity, an identity of someone who has the thing that you want? So if you're just wishing, you're going like, okay, I'm just still me, like doing everything that I always do, making all, I'm still like budgeting my groceries. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just putting an example. Like I'm worried about money, so I'm budgeting my groceries and I'm budgeting my bills super tight, and I'm not spending and buying a coffee because that's outside of my budget. And then your new identity is like, I spend freely, but then when you go and crave a coffee, you don't allow yourself to have it, then you're not in an identity shift, because the shifted version of you would buy what you want, if that's important to you for your future self, which most of us want that. I feel like I'm visualizing, but nothing is changing externally. So yes, visualization is a huge tool. It's our imagination is like the best tool that we have. So when you can actually close your eyes and imagine how that version of you moves through the world and hold it for 26 seconds or more. At 26 seconds, the seed starts planting in the universe. It's just what happens. So if you can hold it for 30 seconds, a minute, like you're just putting more energy towards the growth of that seed. And it's holding the energy of like, this is who I am. Like this version of me goes to bougie grocery stores. This version of me eats at fancy restaurants, like, and just seeing it in your mind playing, because yes, the new identity of you may spend money on a fancy dinner, but if there's a negative amount in your bank account, clearly there's no way to do it. So visualization would be your closest tool towards it. But when you really start to get this down, if you truly want to go eat at that fancy dinner, like money will show up for it. But then when you take that money and panic because you were at a negative bank account and you don't do what you manifested it for, you close that down. So if you're like, gosh, I want this so bad, like da 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 da, and then the universe finds a way to give you the money, and then you're like, well, shit, I'm like overdrawn, so I'm just going to put it in the bank and handle it. I know that seems like the smart, logical thing to do, but actually you just manifested money that was meant for something and then took it and used it out of fear for something else. So there's like this weird place in between like delusion and like moving towards your new identity, where you just have to be like, I'm okay with the shittiest stuff. Like I'm okay with the negative bank account. I'm okay with like not doing this, but splurging on this. I'm okay with like random money coming in and I don't use it in a smart way. Smart being like what we think is smart, not what your manifested self would do. So you know it when you know that you're making decisions from like who you would be. Like if your future self would do it, you have to do it. So you're visualizing and nothing's changing. I would say you haven't shifted your identity. I know what I want, but every time I get close, something bad happens or blows up. My health suffers or I have relationship issues. Why does this keep happening to me? So this is a container of comfort issues. So this is where we say, like, I can only allow this much good to happen before I don't believe it's okay for me to be this happy, or I don't believe it's okay for me to have this much money. And so something has to happen to sabotage the newly found happiness or money or good health, weight loss, like whatever. I'm gonna come back to that one because I'm gonna go into that in a second. So when I was talking about outer reality always mirrors inner identity, I want to go into what's called CTFAR. So this is like a great way to look at your emotions and really audit like how you're thinking. Because if you've ever heard me talk about this before, I use an 80-20 rule. So yes, we can't be positive and happy and pretend like life is perfect 100% of the time, but we can make our thoughts more positive 80% of the time if we're constantly auditing like where we're at, like what am I feeling in this moment and what thoughts are causing it. So C is for circumstance. So you look at what the circumstance is, what is happening right now, what is your current circumstance? And then what is your thought around the circumstance? So there's two ways to look at it, right? So if I'm looking at a bank account where I'm negative and now I'm looking at it and my thought is I'm fucked or like this is terrible or I'm broke and I'm like going into full tornado meltdown, that's how I'm responding to a circumstance. The circumstance just is. It's not negative, it's not positive, it just is. So when we look at it and go, ah, that's fascinating. And we can just look at it. I laugh because Danielle and I do. That's fascinating about like anything negative that happens. And like if something goes wrong at one of the businesses, we're like, well, this is fascinating information. But when you can look at a negative thing and say, well, that's fascinating, okay, well, it's not my real reality. Like my real reality is I'm abundant, my account's full, like I'm able to purchase anything that I want. And you can look at it and just say, like, because here's the thing, you might be freaking out and going, my water bill's gonna come out and it's not gonna go through. But having a spiral of negative energy and thoughts towards it is not gonna change the circumstance. It's just not. So you have two ways that you can react to it. One way is going to start moving you towards a place where this doesn't happen anymore. And the other way is going to continue this feeling and continue this spiral. So when you can just look at it as like fascinating information and go, cool, okay, well, that's cool because I was super excited to make pasta at home tonight. So it doesn't matter. So that's the thought. So then the thought, so CT, so then we go to F is feeling. So how is my thought about, so if I say, cool, I was super excited to make pasta at home tonight. I didn't even need any money. Now the feeling I have is like, ooh, excitement for pasta. Where if I'm like, I'm broke, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Now what is the feeling I'm having? It's anxiety, it's stress, it's meltdown, it's maybe depression. It's like there's a whole slew of emotions that are coming through that are going to cause a terrible feeling inside of me. So now the same circumstance, I can either feel terrible or I can feel excited about pasta. So then we go to A, which is action. So depending on how I'm responding to the circumstance with my thoughts, and then that determines my feelings, now that's going to determine my actions. So if I'm excited about pasta because I looked at it and said, oh, well, not my true reality. Like I'm making pasta tonight. Now I'm going to be like, okay, what do I have in my house that can make my pasta so good? Like, could I make garlic bread? Like, could I make a salad? Like, what else is there? Or could I just get super excited about like a jar of tomato sauce and some noodles because yum. So that's the action I'm gonna take is like start inventorying what do I have to work with? Like, what are my opportunities in this situation? And then if I'm looking at it from the place of like, I'm stressed, this is bad, blah, 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 then I'm gonna starve. Like I'm screwed. Like I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Everything in my house is bad. Like everything's already like the dates passed. Like I can't even eat anything in there. I'm gonna starve. Like I'm screwed. I'm gonna die. And so now that's like the action we're gonna take is probably like freeze. Like we're just gonna freeze. And how many people freeze when they're just like stressed or when there's like too much coming at them? That's like a total response. Freezing. Another one is to like go deeper and you just like go further and further with the crazy emotions and the crazy like untrue things that are going to happen to you. Because honestly, like probably everyone in here at some point in their life has experienced a negative bank account amount, but did anyone die? No, because you're here, right? So that's the point is like it's just the circumstance. It just is. So then how we're responding, do you see how different each of these scenarios are and how different things will happen if you can deal with it this way? So after action is result. So the result, the first person's going to get, well, the person who decided they're excited about pasta is they're going to enjoy their dinner. They're going to visualize how excited they are for money to be flowing towards them. And because of that, their brain has to make them right. Their subconscious only job is to tell them they're right. So if they're like, I'm so excited about this pasta and I'm so excited about all the opportunities that are coming to me that are going to create like this abundant life that I know I'm living, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I could do this and I can make money. Or all of a sudden, like money will just come in or someone will send you money they owe you. Like something will just happen because you're in that state. Your subconscious has to find opportunities to make it true. So now if you're the other scenario and you're freaking out and you're staring at everything in your kitchen saying you're going to starve and you finally settle on something you hate just to eat and you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourself, now your subconscious has to say, yeah, your life sucks and let me prove it to you. And now like a bill is going to come through that you didn't remember, or, you're going to get another fee or something important. You don't have gas to get to work tomorrow. Like all these other things are going to happen because of the place that you're sitting and the actions that you're taking. So that is super important when you're shifting your identity to understand that your reality mirrors your inner, and your inner is your thoughts. Okay, let's see. I think I got, oh yay, I love all the love. I just want to get back to that one question really quick. So I get close to something and something bad happens and it blows up, my health suffers, or I have relationship issues. Why does this keep happening? So that CTFAR would be a huge way to look at it. Like when a circumstance is coming up, like how are you handling it? Where are your thoughts? Where are your feelings? What actions are you taking? And in turn, that's why you're getting those results. So I hope that can help with that. So the result is a direct reflection of my thoughts. So both are possible outcomes. That's wild. Yep, yep. Love it. Okay. So this is why identity is why people win the lottery and then they're broke in 2 or 3 years. This happens all the time, right? It's why we could lose like 30 pounds and gain back 40 because our body changed, but our identity didn't change. And if we still identify as the person who's heavy and the person who carries extra weight or can't lose weight or has bad hormones or whatever other stories we tell ourselves, that weight comes back because that's who you are. It's who you believe you are. And so you have to identify as it. You have to become it. You become what you believe you are. And then it's why entrepreneurs, or like even people that work like high performers, they get to 6 figures after not believing they could do it for years. And all of a sudden they hit it and something happens and they sabotage the heck out of it and either lose their job or lose a promotion or get demoted or whatever because they self-sabotage it. In some situations, they keep the money and sabotage their relationships or sabotage their health or other pieces of their life sabotage because they're so uncomfortable with them being outside of the comfort zone of their beliefs. Okay, sorry, I don't want to miss anything because I always write such good stuff on here, I think. So identity always wins, no matter what you say, no matter what you're affirming or putting out there or declaring to the universe, your identity always wins. So who you believe you are is the life you will have and the life you will live. So your nervous system will burn down anything that doesn't match a picture of what you hold for yourself. So if in your mind you're not the successful version of you, you can't in reality be that, because your nervous system will go, that's not comfortable because that's not who you said we are. You can't hold a manifestation in a container not built for it, meaning you can't hold $1 million if you don't believe you're a person who attracts $1 million. You can't lose weight and be healthy if you don't believe you're a healthy person. You can't have a loving relationship if you don't believe you're in a loving relationship. And if you don't identify as someone who gets treated in a certain way. And not just in your thoughts, but in your like physical being. Okay, so here's an example. There's a woman who wants to launch a coaching company, and she says she's manifesting it. So when we say we're manifesting it, a lot of times we're just putting it off because we don't believe it yet. So we'll say like, I'm manifesting this company and it's going to be so great and this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And then we're like, oh, but I can't really start until I build a website. So once I have the website, then we can do it. But the website has to be perfect, because if it's not perfect, like no one's going to come and it's not going to be great. So now we spend 4 months building a perfect website. We're not talking about what we're doing. We're not doing anything. We're just like, well, I'm manifesting it. And part of manifesting is I have to do this one thing. I have this prerequisite that has to happen before it can happen. So then all of a sudden we get the website and we say, well, I need a logo. I can't have a real business without a logo. And I need some headshots. Like I need to look professional. I need to look like the person who has these things. So once I get the headshots, but I got to save money because I don't really have money for the headshots yet. So maybe I'll get the headshots and I'll have the logo created and then I'll start. But the website's ready to go. And then all of a sudden we're like, what's my niche? Like, I don't know what my niche is. Like I said, when we started this call, I was like, I'm starting to really see what my niche is, but I didn't wait to figure out my niche before I started. I just went out there with everything I knew and said, like, let me help you. I can help in all these areas. And then as people told me what they needed and asked me for help, I was able to say, ooh, this is what I'm good at. Like, this is my thing. And then everything else is just icing on the cake. It's stuff I can help for individual issues and problems. And it's like experience that I have, and it's all these other things. But I didn't need to know that to start. I just had to start. So then we say things like, I need to know my niche. So then we're like, well, I need proof. I need proof that I help people. Otherwise, nobody's going to come to me. So now we're like a year out doing free coaching sessions for people, trying to get testimonials. We're like, a lot of times we're just stuck figuring out, what am I even going to do in my free coaching session so that I can do these testimonials? And you can see how this business is never going to launch, right? So, but she keeps saying, I'm manifesting it. Like it's going to come because I'm manifesting it. But what she's not realizing is she shut door after door after door for the manifestation to actually come into place, because she's putting prerequisites and whys on how this has to happen, or not whys, hows and prerequisites. So the result, oh, that's the same thing I already read. Sorry. Okay. I hope this is tracking, like understanding that a prerequisite is also saying that you have a how. Okay. So the prerequisite chain is what I just talked about. It has to be perfect. We have to get there. I need testimonials. So I kind of did this in the beginning. Like I went and started, but I was like, we need a website. We need this. We need that. And so then I just started throwing money at things. And I was like, well, I paid for someone to do it, so it'll happen once they do it. Or like, I just kept spending money, but I wasn't like changing or re-identifying or taking action. And so I was like spending all this money and like, why is this not working? Like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And then I realized like there's no shortcut around just doing the work, like just being the person, just becoming that version. No matter how, you can't pay someone else to make you that version. So as we create all those prerequisites, we make an airtight case for why the thing that we're manifesting can't happen. And so now we've just told our subconscious, like, yeah, I'm manifesting it, but only if blah, 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 blah. And your subconscious goes, yeah, no, we don't do that. And it shuts the whole thing down. And now it looks for reasons why you can't do it. Okay. And then we call it manifesting. We're like, oh, it's coming. I'm just manifesting. There's just like a timeline. But here's the thing, like, time isn't even real. So your whole life can change so quickly. We just create timelines based on our own blocks of how things have to go. So if I could give you a really good but bad piece of advice, would be to tattoo on your forehead. The how is not your problem. Don't really, but like, if you could ingrain that and for that one sentence into your body, into your being, like, the how isn't your job. You are not supposed to think about the how. You're not supposed to worry about the how. It will shut the door before you ever have a chance for the manifestation to follow. Okay, so if we flip this whole scenario and say, she is a coach today. She makes an offer before the website is done. She prices out her future rates. She becomes crystal clear on what she wants her outcome to be. And she just starts being it. Like, I want to be this kind of coach, or I want this kind of side hustle, or I want to sell 1,000 knitted sweaters every week. Like, whatever your product is, whatever your service is, whatever your side hustle is, this isn't just for business owners, but if you know me, you know I'm always pushing for you to find a side hustle or to connect yourself to someone who has a big enough dream for your dreams to fit inside of it. Because if the people you're associated with that pay you can't dream big enough, you can never create the life you want without creating a side hustle. So one or the other. So I lost my train of thought. Okay, so you have to get crystal clear on what you want the outcome to be and start living that outcome. So your job, your only job in manifesting, is to become that person, the person who has it. And the person who has it, how do they act? What decisions do they make? What do they do? You do that. If you do that, everything falls through. And it's so, I mean, manifesting is scary. Like, this is why people can't just get like, they can't just be like, I want a Ferrari, and it shows up in their living room, because they have to change their entire identity. They have to get rid of stories they've been telling themselves their entire life. They have to identify stories they didn't even know were there. And they have to start making decisions from a place of, like, I don't have it and I'm just going to trust it. Like, nobody gets without trusting first. So like I said in the beginning, like, you can't be like, I'll be happy when. You be happy and then happiness follows. You can't be like, I'm going to get rich and then my life will be better. You be rich and then your life is just better and you just become rich. Like, you just be it. You be it in this moment with what you have in this moment. And then everything follows. But you have to be it like 100%. It can't be like, this is where people get messed up a lot. And it used to happen when I first started teaching manifesting, is I'll say, you have to act like that person. So they'll spend all their money, but not actually change their identity and go, I did it. I bought the car. I bought the house I wanted to buy. I paid for I went on this vacation. I put it on my credit card and I'm still broke. And I'm like, but that's because you're saying right now to me that you're broke, which means you still identify as broke. And if you identify as broke, no amount of those actions are going to change your identity, because you didn't change who you were. You just spent and thought it was going to happen. The identity has to change. Oh, questions. Sorry. I've heard that I need to surrender and trust the universe, but also to take inspirational action. How do I know which one to do? Okay, so surrender is not like a spiritual, like, bypassing. Like, you can't just be like, well, I want this, and so the universe will bring it to me eventually, and I'm just not going to do anything. I'll just sit here and wait for it. That's not surrender. Surrender is like surrendering to the outcome. So if you're like, I want to be financially free, but you're like, I want to be financially free because I want to make $1 million a year and I want to have this thing and that thing and da 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 da, then you just put prerequisites on how financial freedom has to look. If financial freedom is the true thing that you want, then it can't matter how or what it looks like. It's just like, I want financial freedom. I'm going to take inspired action. So they go hand in hand. I'm going to take inspired action whenever I get an idea or a hit or like a feeling that I'm supposed to go after something. I'm going to do it and I'm going to trust that it's going to work out. And I'm just going to surrender that the how or the way it has to look is not my problem. I just want the financial freedom and I'll take inspired action and then it can show up. So both pieces of advice are right. They just happen hand in hand. How isn't how isn't my business? Yeah. Sorry, I thought that was a question. I've been waiting to feel confident before I raise my prices, but the confidence never seems to come. What am I doing wrong? The confidence won't come, right? Because you have to become a confident person who raises their prices, and then the confidence will follow. I know it sounds crazy because you're like, how am I going to get confident without confidence? You just be confident. You just raise your prices. You just do the thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I actually am. Because you've become that thing. Okay. How am I doing? I'm doing good. Okay. So the how is not your job tattooed on your forehead. Just kidding. Okay. The how organizes itself around the identity you step into. So, like, you do the thing you want to do. You just do it. No matter how scary. In fact, the scarier the better, because the scarier it is, the further outside of your comfort zone you are. So you just do the thing, and the universe organizes around you how to make it happen. So you just go, you just do it, you just buy it, you just whatever, you just sell it, you just raise it, whatever the thing is, you just do it with no clue how it's going to work out. I know. And then the doing just created that identity for you. You did it because that's who you are. It's who you are. So now the universe has to, your subconscious has to find opportunities and reorganize to make it work because that's who you are. The who is the only job. So the how is never yours. The who always is. Who are you? And if who you are when you answer that question isn't who you want to be, you need to change who the who is. So what how energy actually does, okay? This is what it actually does to you. It signals that you don't believe it's possible. Because if you're saying, I want this, then you have to be someone who has this. And if you can't believe you're someone that has this, you're going to say, but how? And if you say, but how, you just told your subconscious and the universe, like, I don't really believe this, but I want it. And that's just wishing. That's not manifesting. So the universe responds to your belief, not to what you want. Because remember, the subconscious's only job is to prove that you're right. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay. Current identity uses your current data, so your bank account, the followers that you have, and it determines what's realistic for you. So this is why we're seeing people all over TikTok and Instagram, Facebook talking about how bad it is out there, how gloom and doom it is, how everything's bad and the universe isn't showing up for them, and life, it like they're doing all the things, but it's like just dark night of the soul, and there's like all this like there's all this stuff about how we're just in this space of like everyone being frustrated, and I'm like, not me, because my identity doesn't like identify with that, it looks silly to me. Like, I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, all I see is opportunity. But that's because that's how I identify. So if you start saying how crappy the world is and how expensive everything is, and how I actually just did a video about this, it like we sit there and go, that's so expensive. I can't believe how much they're charging for a cheeseburger. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. And then they want me to tip on top of it. And then we go home and do affirmations and we look in the mirror and we're like, I'm abundant. I'm joyful. I'm wealthy. The universe doesn't care what you're saying, it cares how you act. You're acting like life is too expensive and like it's hard. And so it's expensive and hard. But if you start acting like life is joyful and you're wealthy and you're abundant, that's what you're going to see. It's opportunities that are going to show up for you. But you have to be it. Like you have to make decisions from that place. Your current self is using data to create a case for what's possible for you. So if you're allowing the data to affect how you feel and affect your thoughts, um, that's the reality that you're going to live in because that's the data you have to use. But if you can access a solution, like your future self has access to solutions that you can't even imagine. Like you couldn't even think it up if you tried, but your future self could find it in 5 seconds. So if you can start identifying and embodying that future version of you, then you're going to create a life that's insane in a good way. Do, 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 do. I have to pee so bad. Danielle's gonna come on and just say hi and answer any questions if anyone has any. She'll just sit here for a second while I pee. I'll be right back. Thanks. Uh-oh, where did my paper go? Thank you. I was like, did I take a pee with me? Okay. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. So let's see, future self. Like I said before, it's not a spiritual bypassing. You have to take action, but it has to be action that comes from your new identity. So your inspired action. One of the pieces of manifesting that's most important is action. But we think we're taking action when we do certain things like build websites or create logos or when we're doing prerequisites for what we actually want, we're just stalling the inevitable and putting blocks in our way. Yes, those things have to happen, but they don't have to happen before the thing starts. Do the thing, the rest follows, and then figure out the pieces after. Okay. So then last, like, how do we actually become the future version of ourselves? Like, who is she? So you're one decision from her perspective today, not tomorrow. So every decision that you make before you make it, like, would your future self do that? Would the version of you that has everything that you want, would she do that? Oh, I missed a question. I feel like I've been just stuck in survival mode or autopilot and don't know what I even want. Where would I start? Yeah, I think that's a thing that I think we get so bogged down in life when we're in certain spaces and when life feels super crazy and super overwhelming and we just like don't even actually know what we want. So I would say first figure out what you don't want. What is it that you definitely don't want? Because when you start checking off all the don'ts, it starts to become more clear what you actually do want. And then you can start going towards that. But don't feel bad about that or behind because of that. It's part of our nervous system being in survival mode. And a lot of us have been there and a lot of us are still there. And that's okay. It's just you to take action. What don't you want? And what does your future self not want? And then it'll start to get more clear. So notice where you're negotiating with circumstances instead of identity. So where are you looking at your circumstances and going, I'm broken, I'm gonna die of starvation, instead of going, oh, I'm so excited to make pasta at home. Like what circumstances are running you? And then trust the sour sweet spot. If you've been in any of my classes before, you know that's the chaos before the clarity. It's the breaking down or burning down of the tower before the star, which is wish fulfillment. It's you can't say I want this and then expect nothing to change, because everything that you have right now and everything that you're living right now is why you are where you are. If you want something different, something's going to have to change, something's going to have to fall apart, something's going to have to burn down, and then something different can come through. But it does feel like chaos before the clarity. Okay, where are we at? Good. Oh, we're doing so good. Okay, I talked fast. So last is manifestation is not a technique. It's not a thing to just do. It is manifestation is becoming someone. It's becoming the someone who has what you want. So it's not something to do. It's not something to learn. It's not something other than just becoming the person who has the thing that you want to manifest. So stop waiting for permission from your circumstances. Use that CTFAR to like really look at your circumstances and evaluate and audit your thoughts so that your emotions and your actions can be how you want them to be and not just on autopilot. And then that way you actually get to control your results in some sense, right? You at least get a positive result instead of a negative. So that future version of you has been knocking on the door waiting to come through, and she's just waiting for you to open the door and be ready to meet her. So all you have to do is step into that identity and your whole life changes, which sounds so easy. But you do have to break down those old stories. But again, I mean, like I said, your whole life can change in 3 seconds. You just have to decide that that's who you are now. And there's no, I'm sometimes her and I'm sometimes not. Like, you're her or you're not her. And not her isn't going to get the things that you're manifesting. Okay, that is my whole spiel. If there's no more questions, I'll just leave it open for a minute and see if anything else is coming through. But if not, then that's it. So thank you so much for being in the Legacy Collective. I love this group. I love what we're building in here. Just a reminder that if you're like serious about becoming her, serious about changing like everything, the Legacy League is where you want to be. It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in becoming the person that you're here to be. And it's truly the only way to truly embody that identity, because when we don't think we can afford to invest in our growth, we haven't really become her yet. And not everyone's ready in this moment, and that's okay. But I just want you to know what is available to you, and that it's a very easy, that the action of actually investing in yourself will actually create that person inside of you, and you'll just become her. And then on top of it, you'll have the support and the teachings and the group of women to help support you on that journey. So just something to think about. Okay, and no more questions came through, so I'm gonna see all of your beautiful faces in a couple weeks, but I will have a video up in Q&A next week. So if you have questions you want me to answer for you in Q&A, please get them to me by Thursday at midnight. Bye.